The Las Vegas Raiders are officially deep into Week 2 of OTAs, and big things are already happening. Let's kick things off with the headline: Malcolm Koonce is back. That's right. After months of recovery from a torn ACL, the Raiders' rising star pass rusher finally stepped onto the field. Today marked his first official day running drills, and all signs point to one thing: he's on track to be 100% ready by Week 1. This is major. Koonce wasn't just another name on the roster. Before the injury, he was right on the edge of becoming an elite pass rushing force. His speed, technique, and timing made him a nightmare for quarterbacks. Now, he's back, and if everything goes according to plan, this Raiders defensive line could be scary good. Compare that to Christian Wilkins, still sidelined, dealing with a lingering foot issue that might even require surgery. The outlook for Wilkins is uncertain, but Koonce, he's trending upward and fast. Before we dive into more breaking news, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss out on the latest Raiders updates. Now, let's get back to it. If Koonce, Crosby, and Wilkins all hit the field healthy come September, the Raiders will have one of the most formidable defensive fronts in the NFL. And with Koonce already getting reps during OTAs, this early progress sets a tone. He'll have 2 solid months to ramp up before training camp kicks off in July. Now, the team will still play it smart. He'll need to pass a physical and prove the knee holds up under pressure. But from everything we're seeing, he's on pace to dominate. The Raiders' OTA story just took another twist. While Christian Wilkins remains sidelined with his ongoing foot issue, 2 new names have quietly joined the list of non-participants: Adam Butler and Jeremy Chinn. The team hasn't disclosed the reasons, and since OTAs are still voluntary, it could be anything, from minor tweaks to personal matters. Still, their absence adds a layer of uncertainty as the Raiders continue to shape their defense. But it's not all setbacks. There's some good news too. Thayer Munford has returned to the field. This is big. The former Ohio State standout hadn't practiced until now, and while many see him as a backup, don't count him out just yet. He's officially back in the mix, and the right tackle spot might not be as locked in as it seems. With names like Colton Miller, DJ Glaze, and Charles Grant expected to lead the tackle group, competition is fierce. But depth matters, and players like Don Wagner and Dar Munford could still push for a roster spot if they show enough in the coming weeks. On the defensive side, something unexpected is unfolding in the Raiders' secondary. All eyes had been on Darian Porter, who's been making waves with the first-team defense. But now, Eric Stokes has emerged alongside him, getting top reps at cornerback. This is surprising. Most assumed Jacorian Bennett would be Porter's partner on the outside, but the coaching staff is clearly taking a long, hard look at different combinations. Of course, nothing is set in stone. Training camp and preseason performances will ultimately decide who starts. But the fact that Stokes and Porter are earning early first-team reps tells us a lot about how the staff views their upside. Something's clearly shifting inside the Raiders' defensive playbook. The signs are subtle, but they're adding up fast. From the acquisitions of tall, rangy defenders like Jeremy Chinn, Darian Porter, and Eric Stokes, it looks like the Raiders are leaning toward a cover 3 style defense, similar to the scheme Pete Carroll made famous. Nothing is official yet, but when nearly every corner stands over 6 feet 2 inches and thrives in zone coverage, it's not hard to connect the dots. If that's truly the direction, it makes perfect sense why Porter and Stokes are lining up as the top 2 boundary corners. Big, physical, and long, they fit the mold perfectly. But here's the twist. What happens to Jacorian Bennett? He's been one of the more promising young corners over the past 2 seasons and looks sharp on tape. Many assumed he'd have a starting role locked up. If he's not playing outside, could he slide inside and compete for the slot role? That possibility opens a new set of questions. Do the Raiders want a true corner inside? Or will they go with a big nickel look and use a safety like Isaiah Pola-Mao or Jeremy Chinn in the slot? Cover 3 schemes rely heavily on versatile defenders, especially those who can crash into the box and cover ground underneath. And with the Raiders expected to play a lot of nickel, the slot position will be critical. Meanwhile, rookie standouts are beginning to flash. According to Levi Edwards, who closely covers every Raiders practice, 2 names stood out during recent sessions: Ashton Jeanty and Dante Thornton Jr. Jeanty has impressed early, showing the kind of energy that screams future playmaker. As for Thornton, He's a raw prospect, tall and talented, but still finding his rhythm. The Raiders are clearly intrigued, but there's work to be done before he can climb the depth chart. In short, the Raiders aren't just tweaking the roster, they might be reinventing the identity of their entire defense. And every rep in these early practices is shaping the direction this unit will take. Dante Thornton Jr. is quickly becoming one of the most intriguing wild cards on this Raiders roster. At Tennessee, he wasn't used as a full-fledged route runner. His role was limited. But every time he touched the ball, it felt like a game breaker was just waiting to happen. The guy averaged a staggering 26 yards per catch. Let that sink in. If he made the grab, chances are the defense was already chasing him downfield. Now in Vegas, it's about unlocking the rest of his game. After practice, veteran receiver Jakobi Meyers had some revealing praise. He didn't just call Thornton fast. He said the rookie has real receiver skills. That's a huge endorsement coming from Meyers, one of the league's most intelligent wideouts. Jakobi doesn't wow you with elite size or breakaway speed, but what makes him elite is his mind, the way he understands coverages, space, and timing. So, when he says a young guy's got it, people should listen. And it's not just Meyers. Chip Kelly, who's working closely with the offense, said something that stuck out. If you had to draw up an outside receiver, you'd draw up that body type. That tells us everything. Thornton's 6 feet 5 inches frame, long strides, and downfield speed were made for the perimeter. He's not a gadget player or a project. The Raiders see him as a potential outside threat. Still, the question remains, can he put it all together? Unlike fellow rookies Jack Beck or Ashton Jeanty, who seem ready to contribute right away, Thornton is more of a mystery. He's shown flashes, but flashes don't win games. Consistency does. Just look at Trey Tucker last season. The talent was there, the big plays were there, but the full breakout never happened. Now, all eyes are on Thornton. Will he click sooner than Tucker did? Or will we be talking about potential again next year? The tools are there. Now, it's about translating them into production. Chip Kelly didn't just give a compliment, he gave us a blueprint. When he said, if you had to draw up an outside receiver, you'd draw up that body type. He was laying it out clearly. Dante Thornton is going to be developed as a true outside wide receiver, and that has ripple effects. Because if Thornton is the outside guy, then where does that leave Jack Beck? That question had been floating around all offseason. Would Beck line up outside or in the slot? After hearing Kelly's comments, the answer seems obvious. Jack Beck is going to live in the slot, and here's why that matters. In modern offenses, especially under a mind like Kelly's, route combinations aren't random. They're calculated. On every play call, roles are pre-assigned. The X, Y, and Z receivers know exactly where to line up and what to do. One might be a decoy, stretching the field deep. Another might be the primary target crossing the middle. Each receiver fits into a puzzle, and their label defines their job. So, when the staff says Thornton has the ideal body for the outside, they're not just talking about looks. They're talking about responsibilities. He'll be running verticals, overs, deep posts, routes that punish defenses downfield. He won't just be catching bombs either. He'll also be asked to block on outside zone plays, crashing down on linebackers and safeties. That's a huge responsibility, and it shows just how much they believe in his physical tools. As for Beck, slot receivers don't just run quick outs and slants. They're the engine behind a lot of modern passing concepts, working underneath zones, finding soft spots, and making themselves available fast. His quick feet and route IQ make him a perfect fit for that role. So, now we're getting a clearer picture. Thornton outside, Beck inside. The Raiders have a plan. Now it's time to see it come to life on the field. Jack Beck isn't just going to the slot because of size. He fits there naturally. His style, his skill set, even his movement patterns remind you a lot of Jakobi Meyers. Meanwhile, Dante Thornton feels like a distant cousin to Trey Tucker, a deep threat, dangerous in space, and capable of taking the top off a defense. But here's where it gets interesting. Trey Tucker might line up outside, but he's not asked to do the dirty work across the middle. Most of his routes are vertical, go balls, posts, plays designed to stretch the defense. Thornton, he'll do that too, but with a twist. He's willing to go over the middle. He'll take the hits. He'll make the tough catches between linebackers and safeties. And Jack Beck? He's built for it. Even if he lines up outside occasionally, he's not going deep. He's running crossing routes, digs, finding space in zones. He's your safety valve, the guy who's always in the right spot. So, what does this mean for the Raiders? It means Chip Kelly is crafting roles that complement each other, not overlap. Thornton and Beck might cross paths on route concepts, but they bring different flavors. And with someone like Jakobi Meyers setting the standard in the wide receiver room, these younger guys are learning from one of the smartest players in the league. Now, let's talk scheme. Last year, the Raiders' offense lacked rhythm. A lot of that blame fell on Luke Getsy, and for good reason. His time in Chicago showed us all we needed to know: confused identity, inconsistent play design, predictable tendencies. But this year feels different. Chip Kelly brings a plan. He's known for building run-first, play-action-heavy offenses. And that's exactly what Jakobi Meyers hinted at during his presser. He said this unit is being built around the run game, and Ashton Jeanty is the key to unlocking it. If Jeanty can translate his college success to the pros, this offense might surprise a lot of people. This could be a fun year for the Raiders, and when a veteran like Jakobi Meyers says he's impressed by what he's seeing from the rookie class, you pay attention. But what really stood out is what he said about the offense. This team is going to be run first. Think about that. It's exactly what Geno Smith needs to succeed, just like when he thrived in Seattle under Pete Carroll. That Seahawks offense leaned on the ground game to open up play action. The Raiders, they're trying to follow the same blueprint. But here's the question. Do the Raiders have enough running backs to make it work? We know Ashton Jeanty is the star. He's explosive, versatile, and already turning heads. But who's behind him? You can see the thinking behind adding Raheem Mostert, a veteran with speed who can fit right in. But Mostert's injury history is real. If he goes down, who steps up? The depth chart behind Jeanty is thin. And while it's tempting to give Jeanty 30-plus touches per game, that's not sustainable. You want this guy around for a decade, not just 4 injury-filled seasons. So, if you're going run heavy, you better protect your star back. Fortunately, the offensive line is built for it. Start with Colton Miller, one of the best run-blocking left tackles in the NFL. Then there's Jackson Powers-Johnson, a physical center with rare quickness for his size. He's better in the run game than pass protection right now, but that's exactly what the Raiders need. And don't sleep on DJ Glaze. Sure, he's still developing as a pass blocker, but in the run game, he's a top 10 right tackle right now. Tough, physical, and dominant when he gets his hands on defenders. 3 of the 5 likely starters on this line are run game specialists. Even Alex Kappa fits the mold. The Raiders aren't just talking about running the football. They've actually built a team to do it. The one guy I don't fully trust in the run game? Dylan Parham. Especially when it comes to blocking on the move. He's just not consistent enough. But there's hope. If rookie Caleb Rogers can step in and take over one of those guard spots, I'd feel confident. He's quick, smart, and fits perfectly in outside zone schemes, where linemen have to reach and cut defenders off. And if 4 out of 5 linemen are strong run blockers, that's more than enough to build success, especially with Chip Kelly designing the offense. Every player will know their assignment. No blown blocks, no confusion, just execution. And it's not just the O-line that's built for this physical style. Look at the receivers. Dante Thornton, big, strong, and willing to crack block. Jakobi Meyers and Jack Beck, physical guys who can block on the edge. Brock Bowers, he's a tight end, but he's a weapon in the run game too. This offense is massive, not just in size, but in attitude. And if the Raiders really lean into this physical run-first identity, they could bully teams this season. Maybe not every game, but a couple games this year, I think we'll flat-out run over some teams. And within the next 2 to 3 years, don't be surprised if the Raiders become a power football team, aggressive, punishing, and fearless. Honestly, this feels like the smartest 2-year stretch the Raiders have had in over a decade. We're not chasing flashy names anymore. No more reaching for the Tyrees over the Carters. We're picking the right players, building the right way, and that's how you build a championship team. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.